My name is Dr. Talia Marcheggiani. I'm a naturopathic doctor, and this is the 3-minute self-compassion break. Self-compassion is the act of treating yourself as you would any other loved one. Treating yourself with kindness versus self-judgment and self-criticism or any harshness. Self-compassion is being researched for treatments for mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety, for preventing burnout, for improving motivation, body image, resilience, and is being used in clinical settings for the helping professions such as doctors, nurses, and psychotherapists. The leading expert on self-compassion, Dr. Kristen Neff, who's a PhD from UC Berkeley, defines self-compassion in 3 ways. The first is mindfulness, turning towards difficulty as opposed to turning away or avoiding. The second characteristic is invoking a sense of common humanity. And the third is self-acceptance versus self-judgment. This 3-minute self-compassion break is adopted from Kristen Neff's self-compassion break, which you can find on her website at selfcompassion.org, which also offers other resources and the current leading research on self-compassion. This 3-minute self-compassion break can be done in a moment of difficulty, such as in the presence of strong emotions or physical sensations that are unpleasant, or when overwhelmed with self-criticizing thoughts, or even in the face of a recent failure. It can also be done on a daily basis to cultivate a sense of self-compassion if that is particularly difficult for you. For this break, you want to adopt a comfortable posture, maybe seated in a chair with your feet flat on the floor or cross-legged. You can do this standing, on public transit, you can do this while walking. The first step is to adopt a posture or a gesture that invokes a sense of self-compassion. It's traditionally a hand over the heart, but it can also be hands placed on the neck or in your lap or in a mudra if that's available to you. Even when we're putting our hands in contact with our own bodies, this can release oxytocin, the love hormone, which is present when we feel love and connection. It's a way for us to soothe ourselves. The self-compassion break consists of 3 sentences that you can say to yourself or out loud. The first one is, "This is a moment of suffering." This is mindfulness, acknowledging that suffering is present, either physical, mental, or emotional suffering, and turning towards it as opposed to turning away. Other variations on this could be, "Ouch, this hurts," or "sadness is present," or any other variation on the theme of acknowledging the presence of suffering. The second thing is, "Suffering is a part of life." Alternatives are, "Other people feel this way." This is the invoking the sense of common humanity, acknowledging that your emotions are not yours alone, but are shared by other people, and that there are probably other people on this earth in this moment that are feeling exactly as you are right now. Finally, saying to yourself, "May I give myself the compassion I need," or "May I be kind to myself in this moment." This is setting the intention to give oneself compassion and kindness. And don't worry if that's not immediately available to you. Simply setting the intention can set us on a path to self-compassion and reducing overwhelming emotions. My name is Dr. Talia Marcheggiani. That was the 3-minute self-compassion break. And you can check out more on self-compassion by visiting the website selfcompassion.org. You can check out more about mental health and self-care by visiting my website taliand.com.